We're going to talk to Frankie Musonda now. Frankie is a Zambia international. He plays for Ayr United in the second division in Scotland, and he'll be telling us all things Zambia ahead of AFCON and why they could be one of the real dark horses for this competition.
Hi, Frankie. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a really fruitful period for Zambia with one win and one defeat to start the World Cup qualifying campaign. Unfortunately, you were not able to partake, but is the confidence that can be taken away from this year overall with a number of wins being built up ahead of AFCON 2023?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially the period that I've been involved with the team, we seem to keep building momentum. We've had some really good performances against some tough teams. Obviously, getting our first win in the World Cup qualifiers will be huge for us going forward, and our home games will be quite important. But definitely, the team's been on quite an upward trajectory recently. Obviously, we've still got a lot of improvement to do, but I think the team's capable of doing really good things.
There's the opportunity for your first major international tournament in January. How much has that been a motivational factor for you to improve your game and make sure you remain in Avram Grant's thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I always would be lying if I ever thought I'd even really play international football. So for me to be able to play for Zambia is a huge honour for me. And even when I just played my first friendly, that was already an honour. So to have the chance to even be considered to play for Zambia in a tournament like the African Cup of Nations is something that obviously excites me a lot. It's been a lot of fuel for me to get back fit while I was injured and for me to obviously perform well for my club. But yeah, any time there's a chance to be called up, I of course would like to be there, and it's one of my most favourite things to do when I'm playing is to play for my country. It's a feeling I can't really explain, and it feels a bit surreal for me to even be talking about things like this. Any chance I get, I just enjoy it, and I'm just grateful.
We mentioned the head coach, and with forwards like Patson Daka and Fashion Sakala, there's a lot of emphasis on that attack or a lot of attention on that attack, but it has been playing in front of what's been quite a formidable defence. How do you assess Zambia's chances for AFCON and 11 years after that miraculous AFCON where the country were crowned Kings of Africa? Is there that belief that you could do it all over again?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're still a nation that a lot of people won't really be considering as anywhere near favourites to win the tournament, but definitely within the camp we're very confident in our team and believe on our day we're capable of beating anyone. To beat Ivory Coast 3-0 in one of our AFCON qualifiers speaks for itself. What we're capable of doing if things go right for us. Of course, there'll be times in a tournament where you'll need other big teams, their big players to have off days and things like that. But I think especially in tournament football, anything's possible, and there's a lot of belief in this team. So a lot of high expectations for ourselves within the camp. But it's probably better for us that maybe we're slightly under the radar.
I think what we saw in the recent World Cup qualifiers in Africa were the number of shocks that happened. And I guess from both sides, it gives you that confidence to play against the likes of Morocco, who you've got in the group, but maybe teams where you go in as slight favourites, maybe against the other two, maybe not. But when you go against those teams, it also makes sure there's no room for complacency.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite a young team, but there's still a lot of experience in the team. The group's been fairly settled now for the last couple of years. Of course, the odd player changes, there's injuries, bits of form and things like that. But overall, a lot of us now have played together quite a few times and we all know each other quite well. And I think there's, like I said, like this real belief in the team. Of course, Morocco's a big hitter in the competition. They'll be one of the favourites to win it. But I think always got to go in there believing we can beat anyone. We've also got like stars like you mentioned in our team that on their day can score against anyone. So yeah, definitely a lot of confidence. I mean, for myself in the defence, you always have a lot of confidence that the boys that are in front of me can produce and can score goals. So it's more just for us to try and build as good a platform as we can at the back to stop the other team scoring. But we know that we've got goals in our team, and to have that is huge for us, and it gives you a chance to win any game when you've got strikers like the players you've mentioned.
And you must be relishing coming up against some of the strikers that you could be facing, not just in the group stage. You've got Yuan Visa at Brentford, at DR Congo, and then Naziri, who starred at the last World Cup as well. As a defender, how much do you relish those kind of